stake boats now, the men for the coxed pairs, and a really talented lineup. Furthest away from us, the red and white strip of Poland. It's them in lane 2, two very tall men for the German Democratic Republic, Detlef Kerkhoff and Mario Streit, the stroke in front. Lane 3, Stephen Redgrave and Simon Beresford, a silver medal from the coxless pairs. Stephen, who won the gold with Andy Holmes in this discipline in 1986. Then the Romanians, Dragos Niago and Johan Snep, now the defending world champions. In the bow, Carmine Abignali, and in front of him his brother Giuseppe Abignali. For Yugoslavia, Milan Jansa, in front of him Robert Krasovic, with their very young cox Gorac Slivnik lying down in the front of the boat. There he is. And some prospect for this pair to get a medal for the host country. And away they go. And the Abignalis, a really powerful start.
Yes, and if the recent years are anything to go by, the Abignali are going to go out for a very fast lead. At Lucerne, which is the guide for this championships, there were 5 boats separated by half a second at the end of the race. And I don't think we're going to see anything quite as tight as that today, because 2 of the contestants, the British crew and the Romanian crew, have already taken part in the coxless pairs, and they're going to have their work more than cut out. But in recent years, the Abignali have gone out very fast to try and dominate the field, and that's indeed what they're doing today, driving the boat forward, trying to dominate the field so they can look back and watch the moves of their competitors.
And indeed, they're very experienced cox. Giuseppe Di Capua looking from side to side, just looking for the bows of the opposition. To his right, Yugoslavia, further away to the left, and he'll have difficulty seeing them, the German Democratic Republic. But Italy have the lead, just over half a second ahead of the host country.
And there we see the Yugoslavian pair, and beyond them the crew from the German Democratic Republic.
That pair on the far side, very promising. 2 strong, tall men. Detlef Kerkhoff in the bow, you can just see him on the far side there, 2 meters 8. His partner Mario Streit just coming into picture now, 2 meters 4. And Kerkhoff, the junior world champion, along with Streit in the cox 4 back in 1984 and 85. But look at that lead at 1,000 meters that the Italians have built up.
The Italians have been hoping to at least break half the field, and it would seem that they've achieved their objective in some respects. The British pair have lost contact with the leaders, and that will be at least some consolation for the Italians. Their opposition now seems to be mostly from the Romanians and from the East Germans.
And the Abignalis, who've won 4 world cox pair titles. They've been Olympic champions on 2 occasions, and they really are something very special. They come from Naples, and they do much of their training on the sea. Nearest to you, Yugoslavia, and they're in contention now for a medal, and this would give a real boost to the host country, who've done a splendid job in hosting these World Championships in what has to be one of the world's most lovely settings for this sport. The lake just accommodating the full regatta course, and now the Yugoslavians really fighting it out with the German Democratic Republic for silver and bronze. Redgrave and Beresford well off the pace, perhaps a little disappointed, disillusioned by their performance in the coxless pairs. But the Abignalis look strong, really determined, and they will not let this title go without a real fight.
As the crews come towards the finishing stages, the race seems to be between the Abignali and beyond them the Romanians. A remarkably good row this from the Romanians, who've already taken part in the coxless pairs where they finished 5th. Most spectators and commentators thought that they would be better in the cox boat, but this is really quite an achievement.
The Yugoslavians now, Milan Jansa and Robert Krasovic, they were the ones who were first in that very, very close finish in Lucerne. And the one thing they'll have got from that is the belief that they can do it, that they can get amongst the medals. And they're really trying to stay with the Romanians, because it's quite possible that the Abignalis could tire. There's still a couple of 100 meters to go, and although the Abignalis have got a really good lead, the race is not over yet. And there's a real noise, there's a huge Yugoslavian crowd on the side there, and they're really urging them on, calling stroke, trying to get them up there into the medal positions. Great Britain, they're not in contention, neither are Poland, but the Italians are. And Giuseppe Di Caprio looking left, looking right. His hands go up. He knows he's there. Already he's celebrating as the Yugoslavians drive on. They're challenging for silver. Di Caprio is going absolutely crazy. The German Democratic Republic and Romania challenging as well. It's Romania who get their second after all of that. The Yugoslavians third. But all eyes were on the Italians. And look at Giuseppe Di Caprio. He's hardly crossed the line and he's out of the boat. And that is World Championship title number 5. The Yugoslavian flags waving. That's their first medal. They hung on there for bronze. The Romanians take the silver, but the Italians really the star of the party. I don't think I've ever seen that, Chris, in a World Championship. The cock's getting out of the boat before he's crossed the line.
Well, it's a bit risky. You could end up in the water. He'll probably end up in the water later anyway, because it's traditional to throw the cocks in, but perhaps he thought he'd take the early bar.
You can see there the Romanians by, what, half a length from the Yugoslavians. And now the moment of presentation, emotional moments for this crew, which is, I think one has to say, the greatest cox pair in the history of rowing. Carmine and Giuseppe Abignali, and their cox, Giuseppe Di Caprio. And a standing ovation, and they deserve it. And a proud moment for these Yugoslavian rowers receiving their medals in front of their own home crowd. Terrific race, wonderful finish.